Forest will try to keep their dream of a bowl game alive during their game against NC State this weekend. It's going to be tough. Tickets are still on sale for the game in Winston-Salem, but if you can't make it in person, you can watch it right here on the Triad CW.
And here to talk with us about that game is Tom Wormy. He is the lead ACC play-by-play announcer for the CW. Good morning, Tom. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on this morning.
Absolutely. So let's first talk about your thoughts, how these two schools match up just going into this game.
Yeah, right now you'd probably have to give the momentum schedule-wise to NC State based on their last two victories. A couple of weeks ago, we had their win at home against Clemson, which they had lost to Clemson 9 of the last 10 times prior to winning that game. And then they beat Miami. They followed that up with another victory. And Dave Doeren, the head coach of NC State, became the all-time winningest coach at NC State. So they won those two games. They became bowl eligible for the 9th time under Doeren. And so they've got a lot going on as far as that's concerned. Their defense has really stepped up big. MJ Morris has stepped in for Brennan Armstrong at the quarterback position as well. We'll see how that develops in our game as well on Saturday. But Wake Forest, they've lost 5 of their last 6, and that started. We had their game at home against Georgia Tech early on in the season. Wake had started 3-0, and they've ran into a little bit of a speed bump in this middle portion of the schedule. But as you mentioned, if they can somehow win 2 of their last 3 games, and again, they've got to play NC State and then Notre Dame and Syracuse on the road. If they can win 2 of those, they can be bowl eligible. And Dave Clawson's done an amazing job with the program. That would be 8 straight years going to a bowl game for Wake Forest if they can somehow pull off 2 wins in the last 3 games.
Wow, that is a big accomplishment. You mentioned some of those bumps that they've been seeing this year. What do you think is the reason for some of Wake's struggles so far this season?
You know, I would point right to what Coach Clawson has said on a number of occasions where turnovers have been an issue. Certainly the game that we called against Georgia Tech, the home game earlier in the season in week 4. And then most recently the game against Duke. I mean, they had it right there and lost on a field goal on the last play of the game for the Blue Devils, who were down to their 3rd string quarterback. So there have been a couple of issues in that regard, but as I've said all season long, if you've seen any games that we have called, and when I say we, I mean our outstanding production crew for the CW and Raycom Sports, James Bates is my analyst and Trevor Scales is on the sidelines. If you see any of these games that we have called, they've been incredible. And the underdog has won a lot of these games. We've had some surprising results, but we've always had entertaining and exciting games on the CW every Saturday. So I mean, this is really a wide open opportunity for both of these teams, for NC State to win another one and string together 3 in a row and get its 7th win, and for Wake Forest to keep those bowl eligibility hopes alive on the CW Saturday.
Well, Tom, you were just talking about this. They would have to win those 2 games in order to become bowl eligible. How likely do you think that is for Wake?
It's certainly going to be challenging. They do have to travel to Notre Dame, and as you well know, there's so much surrounding that game with Sam Hartman as the former quarterback at Wake Forest, now at Notre Dame. So there's a lot of factors in that regard. Notre Dame plays a lot of ACC teams too, so Wake is certainly familiar with Notre Dame and the teams that it has played, especially this season, as Notre Dame is as close as you can get to being a member of the conference as could possibly be with all the teams that they play in the ACC. So they do have to go on the road for their last 2 games. Syracuse has struggled recently, and that's the last game for Wake Forest going on the road. So if they can figure it out against NC State, Notre Dame will certainly be a challenge on the road. Syracuse might be a game that they could win, but it will be an uphill climb, as I'm sure Coach Clawson would tell you right away. It's going to be difficult, but certainly nothing that they can't handle there in Winston-Salem where you guys are.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Tom, getting off this game for a moment, I want to talk about Louisville a little bit. They are certainly the surprise team in the ACC this year. If they can get by Virginia tonight, they have tough but winnable games against Miami and then state rival Kentucky at the end of the season. How far do you think this team can go?
Well, they're on a pretty good track towards the ACC championship game. In fact, if they do win tonight, that would solidify their spot in that title game, Florida State's already qualified for the ACC championship game December 2nd in Charlotte. I think the thing with Louisville, they had a pretty favorable schedule. They didn't have to play Clemson or Florida State during the course of the season. And at the beginning of the season, we thought Clemson might be a stronger team, although Clemson just beat Notre Dame, and so did Louisville for that matter. And then the following week, they had to go to Pitt, and that was the loss on the schedule for Louisville. And I might add, that was on the CW. We had some wild games. That game, Virginia beat North Carolina on the CW. Those two come to mind right away. And every game has been entertaining, competitive, exciting, fun, fast in the ACC. So I think Louisville has a great chance to go to the ACC title game, and that would mean, potentially, they could play an undefeated Florida State team. And then maybe the winner of that game, certainly if Florida State wins, based on their college football playoff rankings at the moment, they would be a part of those 4 teams in the playoffs. And who knows? If Louisville is able to pull off the win in an ACC championship game against an undefeated Florida State team. Now, there's a lot of football to play in the last 3 weeks, but who knows what could happen there. The Pitt loss will be a problem for Louisville if it comes down to a razor-thin margin.
All right, Tom, really quick, we only have a few seconds left with you. Just really quick, who's your pick for this weekend's game?
Okay, because I'm calling the game, I always like to be diplomatic about this. But 9 of the last 11 times they've met, and that's since 2001, the home team has won the game.
Okay.
As far as I know, my travel plans are taking me to Winston-Salem for Saturday for this game. So I just tell you that the home team has won 9 of the last 11 in this series, which, by the way, is the second oldest contiguous series in college football right now, and the oldest one in the ACC. They've been playing each other since 1910.
I did not
What?
know that. That's
Wow.
amazing.
1910.
117 straight years.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
nuts.
Nice fun fact for us this morning.
Straight meetings, yeah.
Thank you, Tom. As always, nice to see you again here on the Local Vibe on the Triad CW. Folks at home, Wake Forest University, as you heard him mention, will take on NC State this Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. You can watch that game live right here on the CW.